Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Clueless Trading Frank. This is one of the intra-week free webinars that I do. In lieu of writing long-winded blogs, I do visual webinars to explain a lot of the things that are happening in the markets right now, which is, in my opinion, very helpful to a lot of customers. Customers, not customers, members. From my old days, I'm saying customers, clients. My apologies. And full disclosure, this is purely for financial education and not for any solicitation or advice. Session will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. That will be accessible to anybody who's out there, including members and all their friends and families and their grandmas and grandpas, anyone who wants to hear my lovely voice explaining what's going on with the markets. So on that note, let's take a quick roll call. Fish Eyes?
Yeah.
Good. Mike?
Good.
Nick?
Here.
Excellent. Parvez?
I'm here.
This guy must be a royal or some sort of Saudi billionaire or something. I love the name. Trent? Trent doesn't have a mic. He says here. Okay. And we shall begin. Good. Let's start. Tonight is a very nice evening out on the Jersey City waterfront, New York waterfront, October 25th, 2017, 7:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a very weird and turbulent day on the markets. So what gives? So I'm just going to put in my 2 cents. Right or wrong, a man without an opinion is no man. I've said that before, and if any of you know who said that, I would love it. Does anyone know who said that? A man without an opinion is no man?
No.
It says for my wife. I'm just kidding. No? Okay. Dick Tracy said that, the cartoon character, Dick Tracy. He said, a man without an opinion is no man. So I have to have an opinion because I do what I do for a living. I have to pay my bills. I have to pay my debts. I have to do what's necessary. So I have to have an opinion. And the only opinion that I have on the markets, based on everything that I do, aside from all the trading and stuff, is based on my charts. Because without the charts, you have no opinion. That's it. Because the charts are giving you a visual picture of all the turbulence, all the heartaches, all the volatility, and everything that's going on, all the garbage that you hear from the media. Well, I shouldn't say it's garbage, but still. Remember, in the old days on Wall Street, they used to say, by the time the news is saying something, you've already made it. In other words, as traders, we are the ones making the news. And they're just reporting it. So when you hear them trying to explain the turbulence in the markets, why we're up like 400 points one day, why we're having this, and why we're having this, and why we're kind of like consolidating between a range before falling apart, they're just reporting the news. So if you're relying on the news, which I'm sure many of you do, after all, the TV is omnipresent in every bedroom and every room in the universe, then you're never going to be a real trader. Look, I'm not here to preach. I take losses. I took losses today. And I made some good gains, really good gains. Okay? And I posted all of it on the real-time Twitter feed because there is nothing to hide. Speak the truth and you shall be free. Speak too much of the truth and you shall be imprisoned. Try to figure that out, okay? So on that note, like I said, I hope all of you got a chance to quickly, it doesn't take long. It just takes about like 5-10 minutes to go through the end of the day charts to see what happened during the day. And so you get an idea. So what happened to, well, let me give you the broader view. I put in on the Twitter feed 5 different reasons during the day why this thing happened, why the markets all of a sudden, this is all of a sudden, that's an impulse sell-off right there. Forget about the reversal bounce that is already in the making, very similar to this, all from the same levels. And if you don't believe in tactical trading, if you do not believe in the numbers that control the market, then I have a sad story to tell you. You're lost. Because the markets are controlled. Life is manipulated. Markets are manipulated by numbers. Nothing happened today that really should change the overall view of what's going on. Doesn't mean we're going to go on a straight line up. I've said that before. I called 25 S&P 500 when we reached the top at 2580. It hit 2578.29. If anyone wants to really argue with me, well, why don't you look at my videocast and my charts and tell me that I'm wrong? Did I not tell people to take in large, sell large profits at times when they're in the upper end of the scale? Absolutely. Am I right every 15 minutes? No, I'm not. Because I'm not some, I'm not God. I'm not the market God. I don't control everything. Do I give levels that people should be selling or buying? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a complete robot when it comes to that. Now, at some point, are you guys going to be robots in managing your trades? I'm sure you will. And some of you are. Some of you are. Look, mental discipline in trading tactical markets based on charts is a very, very hard discipline. Very hard discipline. And very few make it on that discipline. Now, as a trading subscription service, some people might say, well, I don't need the discipline. And I've heard people say that. You tell me what to do. Well, I'm telling you what to do. Question is, during high volatility, I'm telling you what to do, but are you managing your trades that way? The only way you can manage your trades is by controlling your emotions, which I can do it. Maybe your mom and pop, grandma, Oprah, Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, I don't know, whoever can do that for you. But I'm showing you the levels. And I'm telling you where the aggressive buy zones are. Which are these? At the point of maximum fear. Not emotional fear, tactical fear. Did I feel great about things just falling apart? About I'm away from my command desk, my trading desk, that's what I call it, command central, for about 25 minutes because I'm dealing with the business issue. And I come back, I'm like, Nvidia's down $4. One of my favorite stocks. Do I feel good about it? No. I look at it, I'm like, okay, where's it going? Like, okay, let me see. I start buying it. Before I know it, within the first 30 minutes, it's almost positive. We're going to go through it today. I scalp. What's scalping mean? I'm big on my profits from the lower buys. So I take some profits down. I stay long because I believe that Nvidia is a $200 stock. Now, some people might say you're an idiot because you're following the crowd. No, I'm not. I just know the company well. Now, some companies I like a lot, and that's one of them. Some companies I don't give it two hoots about, and I just say, I play the lottos on AMD. I lost. I don't really care about AMD. I've never used AMD chips. Anytime you want to buy a laptop and you see AMD chips, the laptops are always very, very cheap. You wonder why? Because they're a great chip company, but they're not. They're always the lower end. What does lower end mean if you're in a business? That means you have less profits. You're charging less. Anything that's cheap in life, in general, means it's not on the upper level, upper crust. Same thing with companies. So, broader points on the market. Just my 2 cents. And thank you for coming in, because honestly speaking, the fact that people are coming in at 7:35 p.m. On a well, we're almost summer, right? It's so beautiful outside. Really is a testament that people are serious. At least Clueless 8 members are serious about learning the skills and understanding what markets are doing. And one of my best guys just arrived. Dano, you there? Dano, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Dano, we can hear you loud and clear. I just said one of my best guys is here. Dano, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Absolutely, Dano. Okay, you're a little crackly, but you're good. Just want to mention, guys, so everyone listen. Dano is an old friend of mine. Been in touch for a while. I was very worried about him for a whole bunch of months, but now he's back. I'm not going to say what he does. And aside from the fact that he was overseas, he's back, and I am very, very happy. And that's what makes service, my Clueless service great, because we do connect with our members. So Dana, welcome. Hopefully everything's going good in Vegas. And now that he's back on the home front, and Dano is the culprit behind that very obscene, just kidding, tweet that I put out there with the lions and the wolves and and all that good stuff. All right. So if you want to look at me and say, "Oh, Frank's like too much of a hardcore guy," this and that, well, look at Dano and Dan the man, and blame him for it. Okay, Dano.
All right, all right, sounds good.
Yes, I know. All right, let's stick to the script. Okay. Welcome back. So anyway, so a couple of things happened, and did anyone get a chance to read the reasons behind the market fallout today? Any chance? I'm going to go over it right now, so just asking.
Sure, we looked at your reasons.
Yeah. Anyone else? Nick, Parvez, Shawnee?
I did. I did.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. Anyone else? Because I'm just asking, because there was some valid reasons behind the market fallout. Nothing that's crazy that's going to change the intermediate term trend, but yes, no. Anyone else?
Yeah, I've read them.
Okay. So as I'm flipping through the charts, as you can see, wow, these things are so mathematical and technical, and the way I draw them is like crazy. And I'm not even taking any credit. I'm just saying these things are so mathematical. Thank God that I'm a tactical trader. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what to do. So the couple of reasons that really mattered was the fact that first reason, not prioritized, but just the way it goes, is a 10-year government bond ramped up about 1.6%. Now, what does that mean? What that means, very simply, is interest rates shot up. So if you're looking at mortgage rates, if you're looking at credit card rates and things like that, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm putting in a I'm adjusting the charts for the USDA is simply the NASDAQ 100 futures. Technology, we trade those trades. So anyway, so rates shot up, simple as that. We had, I'm actually going to bring out the whole thing. 1 second. So if rates shoot up, remember when rates bond prices when bond rates rise, bond prices collapse. So we had a big move down on one of the largest sectors of the market, which is the US 10-year Treasury bond index. So if prices fall, what happens? People sell. And in this case, it's not people. This is big hedge funds, big sovereign funds. That means wealth funds who are parking money in our U.S. government bonds. So they're selling out, and that causes a ripple effect in the stock markets. Simple. It's I've explained that before many times, and it happened today. So that's number one. Number two, we had some blowouts on some of the biggest Dow Jones industrial companies. Can somebody tell me one of them that I mentioned a couple of times?
There's BA.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Yes, Boeing. So Boeing, I mentioned a couple of trade alerts. And when it comes to trade alerts, I buy like little bits at a time. Just to, it's like playing the lottery, you spread it out, spread the numbers. So you had Boeing, you had General Dynamics. General Dynamics, they make one of the finest fighters in the world, right? What is F-15, F-18, F-20, F-100? Unbelievable things. What's the one? Anyone know what the latest fighter is? It's the F-18 or what?
Like a F-35 or something.
Thank you very much. The F-35. There is the F-18. That's the Hornet, right? And I am just going to check in because I have multiple screens, so I'm just checking, and I'll give you a real analogy of the market. And there is an F-35 Lightning. You know what they all look like? You know all those cars that very rich people buy? I'm not there yet. They buy those Lamborghini Aventadors and the Murcielagos. Well, it's out of production right now. And the Huracan. And you look at them, and they look all like the F-35s, like Jim mentioned, and the F-18s. Jim, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of your customers are out there driving those things, right? You blow a tire, and it's like $150 to just replace them, right? For a small nail that went in. Yeah. So, and my son, who's a car crazy guy, all his buddies are driving around the Huracans and the F, not the F-35s. Well, we do have friends who are in the Air Force who not just fly those beautiful machines. So the point is that those when you look at the way the markets are. Bear with me 1 second as I adjust these things here. Is the fact that you're driving a very, very fast machine. That's what I want to really get into. Okay? And I'm just being very simple here. I'm trying to draw an analogy. You're trading these extremely fast markets. You're trading markets which I'm putting out on the charts in almost every single level they're getting hit. Up, down, sideways. Downtrend lines, uptrend lines, everything. Question is, if you are trying to be a really fast trader, then you are making a decent sum of money or a good sum of money trading off my charts. If you are a kind of like, okay, when's the market going to really go up? When's the market going to really go down? Well, I have news for you. It's not going to happen like that. Because when you look at what I am putting across in real terms, this is the reality of stock markets and trading. So before I get into technicals, so a couple of things. Number one, tomorrow is Thursday, right? Because I'm losing track of time, in between everything that I do. In between my trading, trying to help you guys all through the day, and hanging out with you guys on a virtual webinar at 7:45 p.m. Tomorrow is a huge thing. Tomorrow is Mario Draghi, the chairman, the head of the European Central Bank, major meeting. He's going to speak in his very bad Italian accent. He does have a very bad Italian accent. I have a lot of good Italian friends, and they never sound like that. And very smart guy. And he's going to explain whether or not he is going to cut down on their bond buying program, which was our QE back in October of 2000 and what was it, 16 or 15? Jim probably remembers that. I suppose the QE charts and all that stuff. I can't remember. 2015, I think. It's been a while when the United States cut back on their bond buying program and the QE. So I'm going to leave it at sort of, either 2015 or 16. I can't remember. And Mario Draghi is going to make that same type of dramatic announcement like Yellen did, where she said, you know what, time to cut back on quantitative easing, which means time to cut back on pumping money into the economy. By the way, this is the NASDAQ you're looking at, okay? This is where the beauty lies in the Amazons and every other tech stock that we trade. So as I'm talking, I'm just kind of moving this around. Anyway, so that's all coming tomorrow. So as I wake up at 5 in the morning, take my dogs for a walk, come back, try to see what the heck's going on, try to get like 45 minutes of sleep, try not to connect with you guys at 8:30 p.m. Just kidding. And that's what's going to happen. All right? And it's all good. Now, is Mario Draghi all of a sudden going to say, we are completely cutting back on every single bond buying program, i.e. liquidity program that's been helping Europe come out of its doldrums, which it has, okay? And I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to pull the same strings that Yellen did, and Yellen's a nice lady, very nice lady, from Brooklyn, New York. And anyone from Brooklyn, New York is a very nice lady. Anyone from Queens, i.e. Donald Trump, is a tough, crazy, but nice guy. Anyone from New York we like, okay? We kind of disregard their faults, just the way you disregard my faults. And you say, okay, at least he's straightforward. He's crazy, but he's good. So, that's the way it goes. Anyway, make a long story short, that's what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, so it is going to be dramatic in the sense that markets are going to react quite ferociously at the open, and then they're going to settle. And then what's going to be the most important thing after hours tomorrow, guys? What matters to us?
Earnings.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Earnings.
Yes, earnings on what? What's the biggest earnings coming out tomorrow at 4 p.m.?
The tech. Amazon. You got Amazon tomorrow.
There you go.
Microsoft, I think, tomorrow.
Yes, and Intel, and Nick is right, Miss Nicole. So all of a sudden, let's focus back. Focus back on U.S. companies. Because don't take me the wrong way. And I'm a very global person when it comes to understanding what's going on. Regardless of whatever happens globally, the United States stands the tallest and the strongest. Our companies are the strongest. There are people out in Mongolia buying adult diapers. And anyone know the capital of Mongolia? I used to ask my son that when he was like 6 years old. He's going to be 19 in November. And to this day, he remembers. He's like, Dad, I hate you for asking me all these capitals of all these different worlds. I just wanted him to know. That's all. So there are people in Mongolia buying Alexa and Amazon's new tablet. And they, guess what? Amazon delivering those freaking things in Mongolia. It's a fact. It's a fact. Mongolia is almost like Montana for a lot of us in New York. No pun intended. Yes, the Amazon's coming out. Is it going to be a great earnings? I have no frigging clue. It's a crapshoot. And that's the reason why we will do a straddle, just the way we did a straddle on Chipotle today. And I will show you in actual numbers, as I posted earlier on, why it worked. So we got Mario Draghi tomorrow, most important. Political stuff going on here, we're good to go. I did put out kind of a tough tweet on Kevin Brady. I don't like the guy. Not because he looks like Kojak. Anyone remembers Kojak from the old TV shows? But he's just too. It just seems to me, and I'm just a business guy. I don't look at things on any sort of political or any other undertone, but he just doesn't seem to understand the realities of what business is done now. Okay, so I said he's the most dangerous guy. Anyone see the tweet? Dangerous guy to fear in the U.S. Nicole?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so Nicole's probably going to say that. Shawnee said that. Why? Because I don't like the guy's face? No, it's not like that. Look, the only face I don't like is any other dog who's going to try to attack one of my dogs when it's in dog park. I'm dead serious. That's my philosophy in life. Just open mind. Do what you need to do. Just don't go nuts. Because one thing I realized, never mix politics with trading. Our politics is our own, and we move on from that. And that's the reason why I don't discuss politics way too much, other than mentioning a few things that I find to be extremely stupid. And this is one of them. Kevin Brady was the same guy who pushed the border tax. Yeah, border tax sounds really good when you're sitting at a bar having a couple of beers, okay? Without understanding that everything that you buy and benefit from is reasonably 60%, 70% cheaper because you don't have a border tax. So the border tax things fell apart. Great. Now he's talking about putting limitations on 401ks. Holy cow. Look, I'm not a great saver. My wife is. I'm not a big spender either. Neither is my wife. Are we great donors? Yes. To the right causes. So he's like, put a 401k cap. Anyone knows how much maximum that you can put towards a 401k if you're working and from your paycheck a year?
Is it 15 or 12 or 15, something like that?
Yes, you're right. 18,000. So there was a proposal floated, which is the most dangerous thing I've ever heard, especially from Kojak, aka Kevin Brady. Next thing I know, I'm getting sued by his PAC, his Political Action Committee. If that happens, I'm shifting all the blame to my good friend Fish Eyes. That's all I know. Anything that goes wrong, he's getting the draft. Okay, is they want to bring it down to 2,400? Come on! First of all, that's been one of the biggest savings vehicle for average Americans. Anyone who puts 18,000 down, that means they're making a lot of money, right? But even like whatever. But here is why it affects the markets, guys. Okay? As I'm talking to
That's,
you, yeah, go ahead. Nick, go ahead.
and I'm just saying that's ridiculous. Like, why would he like prevent people from saving, and then also
Okay.
you get a match from your employer? So that's even an
Okay.
added
No,
benefit.
no. I'll explain to you why he said that. Okay? Just, he's got a point. He's not stupid. Even though I think he's a moron when it comes to these type of things, radical ideas, he's not stupid. You see, what happened is we are going through a major revolution in the United States of America. The revolution started on November 8th with Trump winning. Okay? So I'm not like, look, I know Donald very well. Do I know Donald as in like, did I get drunk with him? He doesn't drink. What a bummer. Okay? He should have a couple of drinks. But do I know like his organization? Yes. Back on Wall Street, we raised a lot of money for his organization when he was doing those Atlantic casinos. Do I have a complete like pissed off attitude? No, I don't. Did my clients lose money on his Atlantic City casino bonds? Yes. Do I know how he operates? Very well. Okay. Do I think he's a really bad person? No. Do I think he was a Democrat at some points in a thing? Yes. Let me just move on from there. Okay, here's the point here. He's a New Yorker. As New Yorkers, and I take part blame for it, we're like kind of nutty guys, all right? We like to speak our mind. We're a little bit too hard sometimes. Like, listen to my couple of advanced coaching sessions. I'm like really hard on people, this and that. We don't mean bad. We're trying to get people going. Forget Trump for a minute. So what's happening is that we are trying to pass a massive $1.6 trillion infrastructure program. We are trying to cut taxes for the middle class. We're trying to cut taxes for LLCs and corporations. We're trying to like do all this stuff. So the hardcore conservatives, Kevin Brady included, okay, are trying to make it revenue neutral. Do you know what revenue neutral is? And as I'm doing this, I'm like kind of change the picture so you guys can see all the stuff going on. Anyone know what revenue neutral means in simple English? No? Yes? Anyone?
Sure. When they cut the taxes, they raise taxes somewhere else to make up for it.
Yeah. So revenue neutral means that if you're going to cut taxes, somehow you're going to balance the deficit, right? We have a massive deficit. Now, deficit is not bad because I agree with the Trump team with Mnuchin and these guys that if you cut taxes, and it happened back in the Reagan era, if you cut taxes the right way, it spurs U.S. economic growth. I'm a supply side economist. That's it. Believe me, that's the way I'm growth. Okay, I believe in spurring growth, not taxing people to death, the Keynesian way of looking at things, which is like, take taxes from the rich. Well, who's the rich? Am I the rich? Not, well, in the bigger scheme of things, no. Who's rich? The Saudi billionaires are rich, yeah. They don't even freaking pay taxes. Yeah, they don't even, nothing. So rich is a frame of mind. If somebody's making $400,000 a year, a trader's like doing $2,000 a day, guess what he's making a year? Somebody's doing like tactical, let's say, trading. Yeah, they're doing good. So what do? You just take their taxes and just say, oh, we're going to give it to the rest of the population that's not really making money? Well, I don't believe in that crap. Okay? Sorry. Do I believe in helping people? Absolutely. Do I believe in giving away money? Nope. Nope. So what Kevin Brady's trying to do, he's trying to say, look, if we're going to cut taxes on this and that, we're going to make it revenue neutral. In other words, our deficit cannot grow. So he's trying to take money off other places. And the best place to take money off is actually Social Security. But the reason they won't touch it, because mom, pop, and grandma, that's Tesla. Ooh, that's one heavy-duty technical chart. And you could trade like every single day short or long, and make money off it just off this chart. You don't have to believe in this car. You don't have to believe in Elon Musk. Anyway, we'll go through all this stuff in a minute. So anyway, so what he's trying to do, revenue neutral means like if you are going to give a tax break, somehow you're going to make that money up from somewhere. So what? You do the 401k deduction elimination from 18,000 to 2,400. Yeah, you get a lot of money back from that because every dollar that you put in the 401k is tax deductible. It doesn't work like that because that is the same thing as saying completely taking away your mortgage payment deductions. Most people have mortgages, right? Almost everyone's a mortgage, right? Yes?
Yes.
Yep. And even when you don't have a mortgage and if you live in a nice area, you're still putting a big fat amount towards your taxes, local property taxes. I know that. I live in Jersey City. It's one of the most expensive areas in the world. Well, the part of Jersey City I live in. And I hate it. I love where I live, but crazy. So if you take away the mortgage deduction, or if you take away the 401k contribution, which is a great incentive for Americans, every American, to contribute and save for their future, then you are doing a big disservice. Okay, aside from that, how does it affect Wall Street? Can anyone tell me? Why is 401k contribution so important to Wall Street? Because I've talked about this many times on my ACS videos, and I know who's going to answer, but so Jim, please keep your mouth shut. Anyone else know why it's so important for Wall
Because the
Street?
401ks are because the 401ks are investing in stocks and bonds.
Thank you very much. The 401ks are invested in stocks and bonds. The pension funds, the biggest ones in America, which most Americans don't even know about. CalPERS, TIAA CREF, New Jersey pension funds, New York pension funds. These are big multi-billion-dollar players. Think about how many public employees we have, from garbage collectors to parking ticket guys, to teachers, to so many public employees. They're putting in every dollar that they're earning, a part of it is going into their pension funds and their 401ks. The 401k managers are managed by the biggest investment banks and mutual funds in the United States of America. And like Trent said, most of Americans only have 401ks and IRAs. So if you take away those deductions, you think they'll be incentivized to put more money in that? More importantly, let's look at the business aspect of it. The business aspect of it is, that's Apple, good old Apple. Short looks pretty damn good if you still ask me, you know. Anyway, the business aspect of it is that it's going to hurt every single major money management company out there, which are the biggest mutual funds. Fidelity is one of the biggest mutual funds, well, used to be and still is one of the biggest mutual fund companies in the world. And what do you think? It's not going to hurt them if the 401k money starts to slow down? Absolutely, it will. So that it's very simple. It's a dumb idea to cut that. The best way to cut it is Social Security, but that's the hardest because politically it's suicide, right? How about means testing? Guy sitting in Florida, still getting his $2,000 check a month when he already has $200,000, $300,000 in the bank. I'm not saying everybody, but many people. Even they're saying, I don't need the money. But it's political suicide for both Democrats and Republicans, because all of a sudden, every single 90-year-old, 80-year-old, no demographic racism here on my part, is going to say, "Oh my God, that's terrible," because they are one of the biggest voting blocs, right? That's the problem. The biggest entitlement that we have is Social Security and Medicare, and that is the problem. I'm not here to solve it. I'm just giving you ideas of what's going on. So we have that proposal by Kevin Brady. I don't like Kevin Brady. Maybe if I had a couple of drinks with him, I'd like him. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Anyone who's a family guy is a nice guy. I'm sure he's a family guy. But his proposals are so dumb most of the time. It's just like I gotta be like, I gotta stand my ground. Okay, I stand my ground. I don't like his proposal. So that's one thing that jolted the markets. We had the bond deals going higher that pushed money out of that really caused the turbulence on the credit markets, that caused a bunch of whole big time portfolios to sell. And when they sell bonds, they also sell stocks. Just remember that. So that caused part of the grievance. Plus, we had the Boeings and stuff like General Dynamics coming down. And on top of that, we had a technical reason. And the technical reason is just straight line, what do you call, technical triggers, margin calls, stops getting triggered. That's it. Now, is it the end of the sell-off? I don't know. All I know is like every time I've done this, it's made me money. So now, after all that, can we get into the technicals? Yes. Did everything kind of make sense what I said? I started off with Draghi. Yep, Draghi in the morning tomorrow, 7, 8 a.m. He's sitting at his plush office. I love Brussels is a beautiful city. Just he's going to be in Brussels, sitting at a posh little office, talking his thing. He's a nice guy, though. Nice guy. He looks like any other mobster from Brooklyn. Just kidding. And then we have our things. Nothing big. We had great news today, by the way. The market completely ignored. What from my old days, I know it normally happens. When markets are selling off, they ignore the good news. We had big home sales surge. Good for America. Good for America. Okay. We had strong durable goods numbers. Did you hear anything about that on the media? No. Because all they talked about is Chipotle, which we actually made money on. And I'll show you that trade. And I'm proud of it. Not a great amount, but a decent amount. Didn't come out in the red. Even with that 2-to-1 long bias. So I'm going to show you the trading aspect of it. So anyway, so that's what we're going through. And Amazon, if we completely, and then we have the earnings and we don't know what's going to happen. But I have to believe that Amazon is going to be, given the fact that it's not at 1,000 and 1,100 and it's sitting here bouncing from the 950, 960 level, which it did. It's okay. Let's see what happens. So on that note, let's directly get into technicals unless somebody has a quick question on this part. Hi, Exita. No problem. Yes, it will be posted up there. Dale, can you hear us? Dale Riker. Wow. Dale, are you there? Dale's been a member for a long time. I never hear from him. I loved it. There are a lot of silent members. I'd love to connect with them sometime, But anyway, I'll let my good friend Fish Eyes go hunt them out. Let me, should we start with the technical part of the business? Yes?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Yes.
Let's make this quick, sharp, to the point. Everything in life is a pattern. Not giving you a preaching, but look, I can only go by what's worked. I can only go by adapting to the situation. I know something that I used to tell all my Wall Street clients, and I tell myself, and I tell all of you guys. Every crisis is the same for different reasons. And that is the same of life and in trading. Every crisis is the same. Every reaction is the same. Just last Thursday, before we forget, we had a big frigging overnight crash. It had to do with October 19th, 87 and October 19th, 2017. Wow, that's great, you know. But it happened. There are other reasons behind it too. Nothing that major. What happened? This happened. Three big. Let me just show you the bigger picture and then the smaller picture in a minute. So we had this, and then this happened. And then this happened, where we hit new highs. And we went like this. And then we got into the 23rd, which was Monday. And then this happened. Kind of moved sideways, up and down. We're trying to figure out what's going on. And then all of a sudden, this happened today. For reasons that I talked about earlier. So think about it for a minute. Just look at it. Forget about what we know. Look at the picture. Taking all these lines out. Bear with me one second. Please bear with me one second because this is extremely important for myself as well as for all you guys. Trying to get all these squiggly things out. Now that we know that this happened and that happened, let's look at the exact mathematical technicals, which I posted all through the day. Try to walk people through it. Very difficult to do in fast markets, but hey, I do my job. As I always ask, question is, are you doing yours? Okay, all lines off. So guys, what? It's so frigging symmetrical. I have to go by, whether I like it or not. Just like somebody who is disciplined, whether it's a Marine, whether it's an engineer, they have to go by their discipline. I have to go by my discipline. I can't get emotional. If I get emotional, you guys are done. I get emotional, you guys are ending up in a lunatic asylum. Okay? I cannot be emotional. I have to look at what is going on. That's what I'm putting across. So what is going on? So what's going on is this. Exact same levels as last Thursday. Is this like a coincidence? No. It's mathematical precision. That's the way the algorithmic high frequency trading and whatever the powers may be work. Exact same level. Around the 2542 level. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Now, if we were all mad, like really tactically mad, we would put every single dollar in trading capital that we have right at these hammer reversal levels, like I put out there as an alert. Like, look, my business is not to tell you how much money you should put up there. But honest to God, you look at these things and you're going to look back at it 3 days from now or a week from now or 48 hours from now. Forget 48 hours, 24 hours from now, and you might, high probability, see this. And you'll say, why the heck didn't I do it? That's what we all go through Me less than others. Now, did I go nuts and just put everything at that bottom? No, I wish I had the, excuse my French, balls to do it. No, but did I put a decent sum in there? Yes. Do I worry about the minute fluctuations that happened in between? And this is a 1 hour chart. It's not even a daily chart. Because I'm looking at the pattern symmetry. It's mind boggling. Now, if somebody hasn't traded, okay, a lot of you might not have been around big sell offs. This is the same crap that happens all the time. Like I say, the same old story. Now, you guys tell me, and I'm going to ask just a direct question because enough of me talking at this point. Does that look similar?
Yes.
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 Can it be different? Sure it can. But from a pattern symmetry standpoint, is it exactly similar?
Yes.
So
Yes.
the question remains, and I'm not asking you guys, this is a general question. Why this is the point of maximum, like I said in one of my weekend ACS sessions, and I'm sure Nicole remembers, this is the point of maximum aggression. I don't have the time to write the whole thing, but I will write it, okay? It's tough to write with the mouse, but I am good at it. Maximum aggression is here. What does max aggression mean? Means the highest amount of dollars that you need to put in there if you were a mechanical robot, which none of us are. And I understand that. But this is the point where you get excited, not the point where you get silent. Look, I'll tell you guys, I know we had a flash crash today, okay? This was unprecedented. I should have bought SPX puts, but somebody remind me what we made a very decent sum of money on the short side today. Thank you, the VIX. Because I only use two major instruments on these type of moves in the market, which is SPX puts, because I don't like to spread out too much. I like to keep it simple. I use the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid, right? You could use all kinds of different things. You could short this, you could short that. Look, first of all, I don't have the money to short everything. And secondly, I'm not going to short an individual stock like Amazon that ended the day down 88 cents. And I do short things here and there. So other services will say, yeah, short the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they'll catch here and there, but they'll get killed. Especially if they're trying to short power stock. Priceline went positive. Ended the day down 3 for a $1,900 stock to be down 3 points. I'm not going to ask anyone. I'm going to give you the answer. It's a 0.18% decline. Hello, you make money on a 0.18% decline? No, the stock jumped up from 1913 to 1935. I know Nick's listening because she loves Priceline. 1913 to 1935. It's not even like a joke. When I learned it, the stock went up like big time, like 8-9 points. That's for active traders. We'll talk about that for a minute, in a few minutes. So, doesn't make sense. So I'd rather short the indices. So you get this big fat move. I would rather go with the VIX calls, okay? The VIX calls or the SPX puts. That's just my opinion. You can do anything. You can SPX puts. You can basically go ahead and short whatever you want. You can buy some of those inverse market ETFs, UVXY, which I wasn't really looking at because I was looking at the VIX, TVIX. You can use any one of those instruments. But I'm just like focusing on the ones that, kind of pay the bills. Okay, so this happened. So to me, it's fascinating how the market, and I've seen this so many times, it's not fascinating anymore. It's almost like methodical, can hit exactly the same level as last Thursday, right? This is last Thursday, okay? Last Thursday at when the market opened was around like 9:30, like around here. This was like pre-market. It actually hit the pre-market levels. Wow, great. So if something's doing this, I'm a tactical trader. I'm looking to make money off the reflex bounces. So you got the 24.42, and we ended the day at 25.58. Ladies and gentlemen, without getting into the exact specifics of the options trades, which you guys can look up, because we don't have time for that, is 25.42 to 25.59 is 17 points. That's like 17 points on a stock. Hello. This is what's happening after hours right now. This almost looks like it's a bull flag. This is your big fat resistance with the green line here where we broke down from. So I'm going to actually turn this into a mild pink. How about that? With a, bear with me one second. So, you know what I'm saying? So right here, you can see that my charts are very, very specific. If we're going to hit this, if we cannot go past this downtrend line, the dotted line, right, which we failed at, and I mentioned that yesterday, this is so far still a head and shoulders. Head, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder. So what does that mean? That means we can hit this, even bounce up here. People get excited. Don't get excited, because that might be the the right shoulder and the left shoulder come into play, which means another whack down. Does everyone understand the pattern of what I'm showing?
Yes, I do.
Because this is what I'm going off. I'm not going off like a belief that the market's going to test all new highs. Look, there's enough stupidity out in Washington D.C. for the markets not to go to new highs and collapse. Just so you know, I'll tell you that right now. Remember, the stupidity on Washington D.C. is endemic. It doesn't matter whether Mr. Trump is in power or whether any other president who was in power. And of course, the foreign risks. All I know right now, just bear with me, and I'm going to show you in a broader picture. That's a head. That's a right shoulder, left shoulder. That's your right shoulder. Maximum, like I say, max upside. Well, max upside is 25.72. Don't get too excited. Look at my charts. If we're trading hard and the market's up 200 points, like, wow, we're going. No, it's going to hit this. It's going to hit a roadblock. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Those right shoulders are still intact, both of them. So even if it's 25.59, even if we open up here, futures are up about a point right now. Even if we open up, let's say we have a big rally from 25.99, not a big rally, but kind of a big rally, to 29.66. That's how many points? 7 points? Somebody tell me 7 points is how much on the Dow Jones? Roughly?
35.
Yeah, 35 to 42. So we get a 42-point move. You know what individual stocks are going to do? They're going to be really jumping. Boeing's going to be up 2. Amazon's going to be up 6, which was up 8 today, by the way. We were smart enough to trade. Get some decent money. Everything was up. Everything's going to be up. But just like the machines do, they are following these exact charts. They will slam it. They will slam it. Does that mean anything about the overall direction of the market? Nothing. That's one thing I want you guys to realize. Algos have no memory from one day to another. None. They just go by momentum and what the charts are showing. Maybe the ceiling of my charts. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But seriously. So that's why I remain so robotic. Tactical trading, the two ways you can do it, guys. Okay? You can trade these moves and sell at the end of the day. You don't have to have anything open for the next day. Wake up the next day. If it opens up all the way, great. You missed a small chance, but at least you made this. Now, is it going to be like a straight line up? I can guarantee you, nope. Yes, unless we really pass a definitive tax bill with some real provisions in there, which is far from it right now. Oh, how about that? Trump tweets out at 6 a.m. in the morning that he is inviting the North Korean Prime Minister, President, whatever he is, Kim Il-jung, I can't even say his full name, okay, for kimchi at the White House. How about that? Okay, I love Korean food, by the way. And Nicole knows. Great Korean food in Bergen County, right? The richest,
Absolutely so.
the richest Koreans, very smart, hardworking American Koreans, I should say, live in Fort Lee. Multi-million-dollar mansions. They all work hard. They own all sorts of businesses, and their kids are always bumping out all our kids for honors programs at NYU and all the New York schools. I don't like them. I'm just kidding. But seriously. No, seriously, they're very smart. You know that. So the point is that, yes. So how about Kim Il-jung of North Korea, not South Korea, says, I'm going to seize my nuclear. He's never going to say that, seize nuclear program. But Trump says, you know what? All right, dude, I like you. We're gonna sit down and chat. By the way, which we're already doing right now as we speak. All right, as we speak, we are already talking to North Korea. So you want to know how much the market goes up by? We're gonna hit 25,000 or 24,000 in literally the first 1 hour. Trust me, that's how markets work. There's lots of pent-up frustration and buying power left in there. So in the meantime, this is what we deal with. So trade tactical. Trade during the day. Put a little bit in there. Put your stops out there. And these are good money to make. Don't have to stay long-term, short-term. You just basically stay intraday. I trade a whole bunch of things intraday. I try to post as much as I can. I can't give you 5-minute alerts. I can give you 15-minute, 1 hour alerts, and you can just trade my charts. There are people who trade my charts and do the opposite sometimes, and they make money. And good for them, because use me as a tool, not as a god, like who knows everything. Look at my chart, says, okay, I think it's wrong. I'm going to short it. You might be right, but most of the times you're going to be wrong. Once in a while you'll be right. And that's good. I take pride in that. I take pride in people using my tools to make money, not to give me accolades. I want to be very clear about that. Now, this is your S&P chart. This is a phenomenal one. Now, I want to walk you guys through it so you guys understand. This I call the volatility channel chart. This is the hardcore version of trading. Okay? So first of all, we have a definitive bottom when we entered this stage, which I explained in my ACS webinars. 2540. Mark 2540 on the E-minis, on the S&P 500 futures, the E-minis, as a major support. If that breaks, generally speaking, if that breaks convincingly, I am not short-term bullish whatsoever. I am not buying lows if we break the 2540 convincingly. Am I clear on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just want to be clear,
Yes.
you know, just so you guys understand what I'm looking at, because I am just following these tactical charts. Because just like all of you, to be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but in reality, I don't know what the markets are going to do. I mean, yes, I have more experience. I've played these reversals where it's panic situations and I'm seeing all 10 sectors, 11 sectors of the market down. That's a big thing. You're going to hear that in the news. All 11 sectors down today. Oh, great. Now, that's going to really depress somebody. It makes me excited. That means you threw the baby out with the bathwater. Remember we talked about that, Nicole, last ACS session?
Yes.
And I hope none of you ever threw a baby out of the bathwater, or a cat or a dog out with the bathwater. Kitchen sink water. Well, capitulation is seen through candles, through charts, not through your head, not through what your neighbor's telling you, not through what StockTwits is telling you, not through what other trading columns are telling you. It's seen through charts. What is capitulation? When the majority of sellers sell. And those are generally good buy zones short term. Because if the market truly has decided that over the next 3 months we're going to go down, well, we'll react on it. But I don't have the fortitude or the wherewithal, which simple English means all that money, to stay short for the next 3 months. Does everyone understand that part? Yeah. So we're trying to figure out what's going on now. We're trying to figure out what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks or the next week. And we're trying to make money. Because I got to pay bills. Maybe some of you don't have to pay bills. So I'm looking at exact points. And these are the points of maximum fear. Almost there today. Right there with the blue arrow. And what boggles my mind every single time, because I'm amazed with what the market does every day. Maybe that's what keeps me young, alive, and doing the right thing and making money. Is I'm constantly learning, and I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, wow, how can it be exactly that? Well, guess what, guys? It was exactly that. Does anyone have any? Nobody can tell me that I'm making up stories. Look at that. This was when the breakout happened into this upper channel. Is this like, does anyone find it to be pretty incredible that the markets can hit exactly that level and then turn? Yes? Maybe? Or any answers? Any responses?
I see it and I'm amazed every time it happens.
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, I mean, Jim's been with me from day one and before day one when he used to stalk me on StockTwits. And it amazes me even to this day, Jim, like how these things happen. Now, I kind of predict because I draw the lines and I say, hey, it's going to get there, it's going to do it. But it just blows my mind out that it does that every single time. So my question is, if it's going to do it every single time, will it follow the same pattern? Generally, it does. So this is your NASDAQ, this is your S&P 500 that you're looking at. I'm going back to October 5th. That's a long time ago. That's 20 days ago. Every day is like a wild day. So this is October 5th. We entered the zone right there. Look at the date. So I'm going to zoom out and look. Now you can see. So as a trader, we can trade these moves for a good 40, 50, 60% intraday. Pick your strikes. I mean, I put out a couple of suggestions, but you can pick your strikes. You can buy in the money 24. Somebody, my voice is echoing. Somebody mute the mic. So when it hits there, you might want to buy 25.45 or 25.50 calls. and just ride the wave. Now, this is so similar, and I'm seeing this, after hours. It's pretty scary. By the way, somebody mute the mic because I'm hearing myself speak, and it's like terrible. Who is this guy? Like, you ever hear? Every time I hear myself speak, I'm like, who is this guy talking garbage? Just kidding. So look at this. Now, can this happen? Because that's exactly what happened last Thursday to Friday. I have no idea. Can anyone tell me why this might happen tomorrow? This is a green candle. Like that? Because it's exactly at the same spot, right? Look at this. Just pattern. Can anyone tell me? I mentioned that before. What might happen tomorrow, which might cause that?
8:30 in the morning, Draghi could do it.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. That's why I'm going to have you run every single webinar from now on so I can sleep. Seriously, he's dead right. Jim's dead right. Mario Draghi could make, remember, these guys are powerful guys. Central bankers are powerful. That's how capitalist systems work. So he might say something that the market says, yes. And one of the things he might say is like, yes, we are going to cut back, but on quantitative easing, but we're going to do it slowly. That's what the standard answer is, which is fine with me. Like, do whatever it takes to get the European economy going. So if he does that, can we get one thing like that? Of course. Can anyone tell me what happened last Thursday and this happened on Friday that caused the market to go berserk? Which was huge?
Tax reform.
Tax bill.
Come on.
The tax bill. The tax bill.
The tax story and the jobs data, right? Actually, the tax
And the
story, right?
jobs data.
No, you're right though.
Right, the tax story.
It was a tax thing. Yes, you're right. See, I'm losing my memory. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nick, for reminding me. It was the fact that the budget passed. The budget passed. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. By the time the tax bill passed, we're going to be a lot higher. That I can assure you, because nobody believes the tax bill is going to pass. I believe that it will. It will. Somehow or the other, they'll crank it out. Because it don't, the Republicans and Trump is losing the next election. I'm telling you that right now. Because that's just the way it goes. You're right. Thank you very much for reminding me. Yes, the budget passed, which is great for the tax bill. So is it possible that something like that can happen? Absolutely. Is it strange from a technical standpoint that the upper Bollinger is exactly at the same level, which is 2569, which is, again, like I said, the S&P moves in 10 points higher at the open. It hits the upper Bollinger right there. Remember, the upper Bollinger is right there. Everyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. So that is going to be, in my opinion, max upside. Don't get too excited at that level. Unless yes, exactly. If you're long today, you sell there. Absolutely. That's tactical trading. Long at long tails, sell at upper Bollingers. You overshoot the Bollinger, you can rest assured that it's going to pull back. Look, here was your Bollinger Band. This is your Bollinger Band. All right? You overshot on the low side so far out of the Bollinger Band, it's inevitable you're going to get back into the cloud, which is the Bollinger Crowd. Everyone see that? Always use
Yes.
always use Bollingers. Always use Bollingers have a lot more power than me and you give respect to. Because once you overshoot the Bollinger like this, like we did here, you are going to fly into the cloud. Now here is the interesting part. The reason, I'm going to show you another chart in a second. Here's the reason why I don't think we're in a complete collapse mode. because when we look at the Bollinger cloud, we had a huge drop, flash crash. Look at the Bollinger. It simply went down just a little bit. It didn't go like crashing down. And when you have this type of thing, the first level of contact is going to be your upper Bollinger. So to me, it's kind of a positive that it didn't completely collapse. Now, let me show you what, 1 second. This is your NASDAQ. Going back to when we entered, when we were down here, which was October 5th. October 5th seems to be like sort of the key pivotal mark. That's exactly where we tested today. Now I put these things down just so people know what I'm talking about in between all the comments. Twitter allows me to put like a whole bunch of different, longer script in there, right? 130 characters or something, so I can write more, which is good. I want to ramble, but I want to write a little bit more so you guys understand. These are long tail hammer reversals. Not that long. Nice long hammer reversal. Lots of long tails. Hammer reversals. Big long tails. I like that. Look at that. Huge long tail hammer reversal off this downtrend channel that I had drawn all the way back from the 19th, which was only last week. Wow. I'm thinking like years ago. I mean, months ago. But yeah. Is it amazing that it hits exactly that? It tested the downtrend line here. It broke out of the downtrend line here, which was last Friday. And it tested that with lots of long, skinny, grasshopper type of tails. We like that. Now, what does that mean? You guys know by... Go ahead.
I'd like to thank you for your time. I'd like to thank you for your time. I have to run an errand real quick.
No
and
problem.
I appreciate everything you do.
No problem, Shawnee. I'll be putting that out. But yeah, no problem. Good night. What does these long tails mean? What is a long tail hammer reversal aside from sounding nice?
It's a reversal.
I know, but why is there a reversal of what is the longer the tail, more powerful it is? Why is that?
A lot of buying. I'm buying.
Yes, you're right. A lot of buying. And what kind of buying? Primarily.
Institutional buying, probably.
Yeah, short covering. Short covering.
Okay.
It's where the shorts are covering. Remember, the shorts are the smartest guys when it comes to, I'm talking about the fast traders out of Chicago. They're the ones, like, whatever reason, knew that we're going to fall today, okay? And so they press hard. So if they shorted something at 5 and it's at 2, what is their gain? You have to understand the concept of short covering. So if you short something at 5 and then it's at 2, what is your gain?
You're not gain. You're at three in the hole.
That's right. $3, right? $3,
Yeah.
which is roughly 60%, right? That's 60%. Yeah. So the bottom line is, if you bought something at 5 and it went to 6, you made I'm sorry. If you bought something at 3 and it went to 5, your average gain is around 60%, correct? Yes, everyone understand that?
Yes.
3 to 5 is roughly about, yeah, $2. $2. So 2 divided by 3 is roughly around 60%. A little bit more than 60%, correct?
Right.
Right, because 2 divided by 3 is 66%. So anyone who's shorting at 5 and covering at 3, they're making 66% on their money, correct? You understand?
Yeah.
Guys,
Yes.
you with me? Just the way on the VIX calls that we had as hedges, we made around 60% today from the VIX calls that were being swept over week after week. They went from an average, actually more than 60%. It was more like 100% overall. The VIX calls yesterday were at a buck 24. They went to 245, which is roughly around 100%. Initial sell was around 60%. That's how it works. So, and I post my VIX charts very, very closely all the time. You always have to be hedged because you never know when the markets will dip, when North Korea is going to fire a missile, when there's a tweet coming out of the White House that might unnerve the markets, anything of that sort. Always be hedged. Anyway, bottom line is long tail reversals are big, especially that long a tail is a sign of massive short covering, which is bullish. Now, this is your NASDAQ NDX charts, NASDAQ futures, which dictates what the Netflixes, the Apples, the Pricelines, the Amazons are going to do. I was showing this trading range yesterday for quite a while. We were doing fine. We went down here, we went up here. Overnight, this happened, and then the crash. The crash tested the lows of October 5th, and now it's doing this. So people are asking, so what's it going to do next? High probability, this is what it's going to do. What happens after that? I don't know yet, but if Amazon blows the numbers out, Google and Intel, we are going to do this. That means another huge move up that if people are not positioned, even in a small way, will keep on doing the same thing. Oh crap, I should have bought. Am I pretty clear about that?
Yes. Yes, Frank.
Yeah, don't cry. But aside from you, like, is everyone clear about that? No, love you, Nick. Don't worry about that. You're like, yes, Frank. No, you gotta have some position, all right? Some position, because this is telling me that everything on the charts are read as whether it's a high probability or a low probability. That's the way mathematicians read markets, because we never know what might happen tomorrow. We have to look at the charts and make a determination based on these long tail reversal, which are the longest I've seen in a while. This was a long tail reversal only last Thursday, which we know was very profitable over the next 24 to 48 hours. This long tail reversal is from a lower point. Remember what it did last time? My point is, unless something dramatic happens, and markets are a little bit screwed up, but markets are always kind of screwed up, okay? But given where we are, this is telling us that we have a good shot to not only hit this, but complete the pattern reversal all the way up here. That means multiple tech stocks up huge. Huge. Just the same way they do it. Remember, tech stocks always move $5, $6, $7, $8, $9. Price line 10, 20, 30. I don't need to remind everyone. That's just the way it works. Is this a whole pattern symmetry? Very possible. Very possible. Unless something is really going rotten in the overall markets that I don't know about, and there's a lot of things I don't know, this was an aberration. This should have been the case. Pattern symmetry. Get that excited. This is when people get the most excited. You sell hard. If it breaks out above that, well, great. We'll see after that. So price line, good for another 40 points from here? Absolutely. Netflix, another good for another 4 points from here? Yes. Amazon blows out the numbers, good for 30 points. 1005, 1010. Tesla, it's kind of a mixed story. I traded back and forth. Okay? Tesla could very easily go to 350. General floor on Tesla is around 310. Alibaba, 166. All my charts are posted, and you guys can see that every day. This is your Amazon. From I pushed the buy here at around 962. I got you guys 984. That's 20 points in one day. No one can fault me for the job I do. Okay? 20 points in one day. Look at that. This was the 24th. This is the 25th. You got to manage your trades. I alerted people again around 966, 967. Low on Amazon today was 966.24. Middle of the day goes to 980. Can't beat these things, okay? If you want to trade tactical, trade these levels. If you want to wait for a perfect moment, well, I can't give you perfect moments. The perfect moments are when you're lying on the floor saying, "Oh my God, I hate stocks." That's the perfect moment, okay? These are the perfect moments. No, I'm dead serious. It's like, Doug Cass used to say, lying on the linoleum floor with a bad bottle of vodka. All right? Maybe he used to do it a long time. But seriously, the only perfect moments are when you completely give up. I always have this saying on my desk. It says, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. You know who said that? Who said that? Thomas Edison, an American pioneer and a hero, a patriot. Write that down. All of you included will at some point or another were at the point of giving up. And that's the point, when you never realized that that was the time. It's the same thing with frigging markets. I don't make a light of it. It's a fact. Okay? So, there's your Amazon. Now, can Amazon collapse to 952 after earnings? Sure it can. Because it's got that kind of like look going. So you do a straddle. Which brings me to showing you what a straddle can do. And a straddle can do a lot. And I'm trying to pull that out right now. Did anyone see the CMG straddle that I put out on my Twitter feed? Did anyone bother to look at it? I'm not going to blame anyone, but did anyone bother to look at it? Or they were too depressed hiding in the bunkers?
Yes, I looked at it. I saw it.
Fisheye sees everything. I don't trust that guy. Who is this guy? Fisheye. Okay. Okay, but I want to show everybody this so it's on record. Because I didn't expect the stock to fall that much, so the few puts that I had did the job. Bear with me 1 second. Trying to find it. Oh, let me go through it. Hold on. What happens before earnings and what happens after, really, these days, from what I'm seeing, means nothing. In the old days, we could predict what a stock was going to do by looking at the charts the night before or close to the closing. Nowadays, nope. It's just the machines are so fast, they'll just... iRobot was up $7. Wasn't in the trade. I looked in the morning, I'm like, oh, wish I was in the trade because it was on my list too. By the way, one of our earnings trades went berserk today. ANTM, Anthem. And that was really a serious winner. ANTM, that's a medical company. Insurance company, I believe. 1 second here. Almost there. Oh, here we go. So here's your, just to give an example of a straddle trade, okay? So here's the earnings straddle trade. So the CMG puts, which were the 300 puts, they were up from $3, which in fact during the day was up like 1,100%. So quick calculation, just so you guys know. So if you bought one put, look at my other screens to make sure that I can. 1 second. And very, very dramatic. Okay, the puts closed at $2.80 last night. So if you bought one there, the high for the day was 26. I mean, these are staggering numbers, right? So you were up a good solid 900%. Well, more than that. 900 and let's call it 1,000%, okay? Because that's what it was during the day. So you made 1,000% on the puts. If you had the call, that's what a straddle is all about. Same thing with Amazon we're going to do. One call, you lost 99% roughly. Does everyone see that? This is important because this is, you know, like as a trader, you can do a straddle and still come out green. Does everyone see this?
Yes. But with Australia, you need a big move, though, don't you?
Excuse me, were you like hiding under a rock in Bergen County? Did we not have a huge move on CMG?
I'm just saying, because if you do a straddle but you don't have a big enough move,
I completely agree with you 110%. I thought you were just mentioning it. Yes, you need a big move.
Right.
You need a big move. If you have a flat move, you get screwed on both ends. Correct. Dead right. But in order, yeah, absolutely right. Totally agree with you on that. Point is that on high volatility stocks with high expectations, you generally get a big move. Okay, just so you know that. So bottom line is here, if you bought $2.80, my exact trade, I don't lie about my trades. I'm not going to tell you exact dollar trade, but I'm going to show you. I had a 2-to-1 bias, right? I had a 2-to-1 bias on this. So that means for this one, which was $7 roughly on the calls, I had 2 calls. That means I had $14 on the call, right? So the $14 almost went to zero on the calls. And the $2, let's call it 3 for argument's sake, went to 26. So you lost 14 bucks here, and you bought you made how many dollars here? 23, correct? What was your net profit? Giving an exact example of a highly volatile straddle. What was your net profit? Anyone? Quickly. You lost $4 here. I mean, $14 here, and you made $23 here. Come on, guys. I mean,
900.
I'm not asking for a dollar. I'm talking. You made $9, right? $9.
Right.
Exactly. So $9 you made on $9 in profits, and depending on the amount of calls that you got, that's how you made correspondingly. Is everyone clear about this? When I said that this was a winning trade, some people said, "What?" You can look at this. The loss was 99%. The gain was 939%. That means your overall profit was substantial, but then at the same time, I had a long bias, so obviously that was reduced. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you still made $9 on that trade, on the options. You have to do straddles on high volatility trades. Now, some people want to do it, some people don't want to do it. That's fine, but I just want to show you that you can still win on a bad trade that you were long on. And I was long 2-to-1 long bias. Get it? So you had, I repeat, for people who are listening, two calls would be $7 times 2 is $14 per call. One put $3. The put went to 26. $14 went to 0. Net, you still made, well, in this case, it shows 11. Net went to 26. That means here you made 23 bucks. You lost 14. Your gain was 9. Is everyone clear about that? Does anyone have any questions?
No questions, Frank.
Okay, Nick. Anyone else who's out there who's answering? Dano?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So just want to show you the mathematical version of a straddle. And this would probably be the best way to go with the high moving stocks like Priceline and Amazon and many others that's coming our way. Remember, earnings season hasn't even started really in a big way for the tech stocks. Trent said, how did you come up with what range? I have no idea what his question was. He said, how did you come up with the range? How do I come up with the range? I look at my charts. I have no idea what he asked me.
Maybe he's talking about the strikes.
The strikes? The strikes, I again, if you look at my CMG charts, you look at my strikes exactly based on my range. If you don't look at my charts, you won't know what I'm talking about. I don't pick up ranges from the top of my head. I picked up my ranges based on my charts. If you look at my CMG chart, which I posted several times, that's how I picked my range. I picked the 300 range because that was the floor. I picked the 332 range based on the upper end, the intermediate upper end of the range. It's all on the charts. That's it. That's how I pick my range. Okay. Remember, ranges are picked by looking at charts, not by what's in your head. All right, guys. That's pretty much it for now. We talked about a lot of stuff. You got to follow my charts. If you follow my chart, somehow you'll survive. If you don't follow my charts, you have no idea what the heck's going on. Okay? Even in Tesla, which is a highly volatile stock. And again, somebody says, you just shorted the crap out of Tesla. I said, yeah, I was busy doing other things. I'm not going to make any excuses. We are in the deep gap range. You got a very low point. Oh, that's Alibaba. Hold on. Tesla. There we go. This Tesla chart, print it. Look at it. Sleep with it. Well, in a good way. All right? Because this is hardcore. Gap fill. This is the gap fill going back to August. Doesn't matter what the news is. A stock will do based on the charts. Doesn't matter what the news is. Jeffrey Gundlach today, who is a bond guru, said Tesla is putting unsafe cars on the road. I just asked myself, he's a bond guru and he's talking about Tesla? What happened? Did his wife smack him in the middle of the morning and said, buy a real guzzling car? Does anyone know who Jeff Gundlach is? He's got a little goatee. He looks like a dangerous guy. He looks like one of those ISIS guys sometimes, when he doesn't shave. Seriously, anyone with like too much facial hair looks to me like an ISIS guy. You know, half those frigging Brooklyn hipsters look to me like dangerous ISIS. Except the ISIS guys sometimes look tougher, because those guys are real, like, killers, and the hipster guys want to be killers. I mean, seriously, okay? And he says Tesla's putting unsafe cars on the road. Look, I'm not in love with Tesla, but how can a bond guy tell me about a tech stock and a real tech stocks? Like, I give up, okay? But then he can say anything he wants. He's got billions in the bank. It's like the Saudi prince, with his turban sitting in the desert, telling us that Bitcoin is a fraud, and that then, I mean, I don't know. I give up on the world. Okay, when you got that much money, you can say what the heck you want. So Jeffrey Gunlax today comment on Tesla was a serious laughable joke to me as a trader. To me, I'm looking at this. We are beyond the gap here. We are at the lower end of the gap. Max of the best buy point would be 312. You can make a lot of money. You could still make money here buying it here and trading it to the upper end of the range, which is 332. That's why I say prices don't matter. You have to look at the charts, because even on this fall, we made some very decent money back and forth. End of story. Gotta follow the charts. The more you get used to it, the more you know. Last thing I'll say, if you got millions that you're trading with, or billions you're trading with, one of my favorite shows, season hasn't started yet, okay? Then you can short it all the way here and keep on shorting, losing money as every time it moves up 30 points, but I ain't that rich. Okay? I'm just a normal trader, smart. I trade for a living. So if you are a mutual fund manager who's got millions in the bank or $100,000 to stay short a stock for months and months, well, good luck to you. Go ahead and do that. In the meantime, trade my charts and make money almost every other day, sometimes every day and every week. On that note, have a great evening. God bless you all. And one thing I did want to remind everyone that Trent just reminded, please take a good look at the VIX chart that I posted at the end of the day, which I will show tonight. If this is an indication of what is coming, then good luck, shorts, because this is huge. And I'm sure Trent saw that. 1 second, please. There you go. You see a hammer reversal like this. Do you really want to get excited about buying something? I mean, come on. The last time this happened went like this. This is one of the biggest hammer reversals. You guys can all see that. I'm seeing it on my beautiful 24-inch screen that I've seen in a while. Does it mean that it's going to completely collapse all the way down here? No, but it's a good probability. Does it mean it might hit the pivot, which is the P level? What's a pivot? That's the point whether you break. It's like a trampoline. You either hit that, bounce, or you break down below that. We shall see. But that hammer reversal at face value generated a significant amount of profits for tactical traders during the day on the SPX and multiple other alerts that were posted. That is a dangerous hammer reversal. What that means is that the shorts basically said, you know what? We're going to take our beautiful profits all the way from 9, roughly around 9 to 13. And for now, we're leaving town till we get down here again, and then we can buy it and trade it up there. That's how the VIX works. And Trent just screamed out saying VIX is down after hours. So good luck to him. I appreciate that. But thanks for reminding me to show the VIX chart. Many aspects of the market. And if you understood it all, you'd be running a $30 billion fund, but you're not. So in the meantime, make money off clueless day trading. And God bless you all. Have a great evening. Let's attack the day.
Thank you.
Let's attack the day tomorrow. Every day is a fight. It's not the day to lie down and say, oh my God, it's all over. God bless you all.
Thank you.